What are thoughts? We spend our whole lives thinking thoughts. Thinking is a primary factor in all of our decision making. Whether these decisions are small or large, deciding what to have for dinner tonight, or deciding entire career paths, deciding what to do about jobs or your house or relationships. It is thinking and thoughts that is the primary deciding factor in all of this. Thoughts and thinking is always present, ever present in our life experience. Thoughts can be very enjoyable and bring great benefit to our lives, and can also cause incredible suffering, turmoil, chaos, overthinking, anxiety. So considering that thoughts and thinking, cognition, plays such a prominent, powerful, and pivotal role in deciding the quality of our life and the very nature of our life experience, wouldn't it be a good idea to ask the question, what are they? It may come as some surprise that you may never really have asked this question, may have never introspected in this way. So for the duration of this meditation today, we will be contemplating with a quiet insight into the very nature of thoughts themselves. This is a deep and profound inquiry that has been asked throughout history. And although there are many conceptual and cognitive answers to this question, those are not satisfying. They never quite seem to give us a fulfilling and accurate understanding of what thoughts actually are. The accurate, fulfilling, and satisfying answer must come experientially. We must know this on a deep, profound level. And in order to do that, we must inquire within, bring that conscious awareness to the content of our own mind. So let's begin doing this now. We'll take a minute here to just begin to open our awareness to the current thoughts. Just become very aware of the thoughts that you are currently having. And see if it's possible to just be aware of them. Not being so interested in the details or the content, but actually more interested in the phenomena of the thought itself. So not paying so much attention to the individual characteristics of that thought, whether it's words or images, whatever that is. Not so interested in that, and instead just interested in the phenomena of thinking itself. Let's take a minute to just contemplate this here. So how curious it is that we can even do this in the first place. Did you notice anything interesting about the nature of your experience of thoughts when you changed the intention towards how you are going to experience the thoughts? When we decide we won't be getting involved in the precise characteristic of the thought itself, but instead just noticing thought, just observing. This is beginning to give us a clue into the nature of the substance of thought. Now, is it possible to begin trying to intuit something of an answer? This question, what are thoughts, is not a rhetorical question. It is not facetious. There is an answer. It's not an obvious answer. It's not a simple answer, really. But there is an answer. It's not a question without, it's not a riddle without an answer. This is an inquiry with a satisfying conclusion. So we'll take a minute here to once again become very aware of the current thoughts, the present thoughts that are arising in the field of conscious awareness. And this time, asking yourself the question, what are thoughts? But try not to go so much to the mind for a cognitive or conceptual answer. You may be tempted to answer in terms of brain chemistry, neurons, electrical impulses, something along those lines. Or maybe you have a more metaphysical answer, something more spiritual or religious. But instead of going to that, just continually refer back to your own experience. Because it's curious that if we were to answer the question, what are thoughts, with another thought, we are simply experiencing the next thought. And so more thinking won't solve the question. So we'll take a minute here to try and do this intuitively. This takes some real grounded wisdom, patience, to just intuit, inquire, what are thoughts? Now, something of an answer may be beginning to arise, or maybe not. Don't be frustrated by this. This is not like a lesson or a test. Often we get frustrated and stressed when we can't find an answer because of the way that we are ordinarily schooled and taught things, with lots of tests and answers being demanded and expected of us. But this isn't like that. This is far deeper than that. You are not being assessed. The purpose of this inquiry is just to create a deeper sense of understanding so that you can know yourself in a very deep way. That you can know the nature of reality in a deeper way. That you can know the nature of your own experience of life in a deeper way, a more intimate way, a more profound, divine way of experiencing. So don't worry if the answer isn't immediately arising. There won't be a test at the end. This is just for your knowledge, your gnosis. So continually with that inquiry in the background, what are thoughts? Just begin to notice how thoughts seem to change depending on where our attention is placed, where we direct our attention towards. You will notice that your experience changes when in those periods of silence, when you are just observing thoughts, and then that experience changes when I begin speaking again. This is because attention has changed from one place to another. Attention is what is changing the nature of experience. When I begin speaking, your attention cannot help but be drawn to the words that I speak. When I fall silent, your attention goes elsewhere. This is the power of attention. Attention completely changes your entire life experience. So it's worth getting to know how attention works. So for a minute here, choose one area of your body where you can feel some kind of sensation. Maybe there's a tightness somewhere, or you can always feel something in your digestion, or you have an old ache or niggle or something like that. Or just an area of the body maybe that just feels relaxed and comfortable at this time. Just find one area in the body, and you can use this as a focus point of attention. If nothing really springs to mind, just go to the sensations of breathing and use the breath as the focus point of attention. And what we'll do for a minute is continually shift back and forth between paying attention to the thoughts in your mind that you are thinking, and then shift to that area in the body or the breath. And over the course of a minute, just do this 3, 4, maybe 5 times, and just notice if anything changes. Very good. Now, through that process, we may begin to recognize the role that attention plays in the nature of our experience and the manner in which we experience thoughts and thinking. Attention is something that we are consciously able to control. And eventually this is going to beg the question, what is attention? What is attention made out of? Considering attention can be directed to any element of our experience, what is attention? And then developing that just a little further, could you be consciously aware of something that there was simply no attention being placed upon? If you did not pay attention, would the awareness of that experience still be there? And that gives us a clue into the nature of attention. Now we'll begin leaving the formal aspect of the meditation here. So we may wish to shift our posture and our position, and we don't need to be quite so intensely focused on the questions and inquiry. Just moving into the more informal aspect, and just allow your attention and thoughts just to go wherever now, just relaxing a little with it. Now you'll notice I didn't give an answer to the question of what are thoughts, and actually introduced more questions there about what is attention. And this is intentional, because it's always better if people arrive at these conclusions through their own experiential understanding. If I just give you an answer, then you may try to arrive at that answer yourself, and that won't be satisfying or fulfilling. It has to be something that you arrive at yourself. So just continue with that inquiry, those particular questions, and I'd be very interested to know what comes up for you. So in fact, in the comments, just write down what you found. If you came to any answers, pop it down there. Let's have a discussion. It'd be real interesting. If any insights arose, if you had any interesting experiences during that inquiry, I'd be fascinated to know. And it's always good to have a little discussion, because then others can read that and see that and share to see if we have some similar experiences. Thank you so much for doing this meditation with me today. I hope this video finds you well, in good health, in peace and prosperity today. May you and your loved ones have ease of being this day. May this meditation and yours be for the benefit of all sentient beings. Take care, be well, and stay present.